Hello. At the Net Events Press and Analyst Summit in Portugal, we pitched Dell against HP and asked them to tell us why their version of software-defined networking, or SDN, was better. So I set the clock running and asked Arpit Joshipura from Dell to give a strictly timed 2-minute presentation.
Okay, so we talk about SDN in a broader context. And as I said, in the 5-step journey, it's step 3 and 4, which is what's the path on migration to SDN? And Dell provides a choice. And I will talk about that choice all the way from, a fundamental disruption that Dell has created, 20 plus years ago in the server market. And that is called disaggregation. On the left is mainframes, if you remember, right? Silicon, software, ASICs, hardware, and applications, all vertically integrated. On the right, it's a disaggregated model. Multiple chipsets from Intel, AMD, OS from Linux, Win, etc. And then any OS. And what we announced earlier this year as Dell was our open networking strategy, which is fundamentally following the server disaggregation model, where you can take any merchant silicon, slap a thin layer of OS, and write applications, including SDN and other apps on top. And basically, we believe that the way innovation can move forward on SDN is by following a disaggregated model. Okay? Fundamentally, because now you can have multiple ecosystem partners go on this. And we have proven it on PCs and servers in the past. Okay? So with that background, there are 3 paths. And for those of you who have attended net events before, it's the same slide. Sorry to disappoint you, but guess what? Strategy is still the same. The paths are different, progress has been made. 3 paths to SDN. You can either script yourself out of it and take a very proprietary approach using REST API type solutions, and some of the web scale companies do that. You can follow an overlay hypervisor type network virtualization model using VMware, Microsoft, or NSX. And some of the large enterprises do that. And then you follow OpenFlow, which is the 3rd way of doing it. Okay? Challenge number 1 that still remains is organization, whether you are marketing to the server admins or network admins. And that's kind of the debate remaining. Okay?
With 2 minutes 19 seconds showing on the clock, Joshipura overran slightly. So I gave his opponent, Jacob Rapp from HP, the same time to make his pitch.
All right, great. So at HP, I think we are at the point now where we see our customers moving on from a technology debate to what solutions that they can actually implement and deploy today with the software-defined technologies. So actually tomorrow or later tonight, actually 6 a.m. Eastern time, there's a press release going out where we're announcing the next phase of our SDN App Store, actually going live with it on October 1st with a set of ecosystem partners that are really changing the game in networking within the enterprise. So as we look at our journey through SDN, we started back in 2007, as I mentioned. We kind of put our initial stake in the ground around OpenFlow and controllers. But I think that as technology evolves, that will continue to evolve as well. But fundamentally, now we're looking at new ways to innovate using these technologies. And that's what our customers are looking for, ways of reimagining your security infrastructure, ways of making cloud successful. Not just how do I build a cloud, how do I use a cloud? How do I make it successful with SDN? Mobility. We're one of the only vendors talking about mobility and actually how does the end user experience change? And there's a panel tomorrow on 802.11c AC and challenges and opportunities that we have there. But then really where innovation becomes the norm again within networking. So a whole new way of deploying software within enterprises' environments. I think gone are the days where there's one monolithic operating system that integration takes place in. You need an abstraction out of that. So the innovation can take place seamlessly and you can get rapid return on that investment. So when we look at HP's strategy for networking, really around agility, it's trusted. It's something that you can actually deploy and is enterprise ready and brings a lot of value because IT budgets aren't increasing. So how can we do all this with even a decreasing budget?
Joshipura defended his disaggregated view of an SDN acquisition and deployment strategy.
So fundamentally, I believe, and the industry believes, right? and there are stats on this, 95% of the innovation comes from outside the company, 99% if you read the stats, right? And our job as technology innovation companies and leaders, right, is to create a platform that others can build on and not do everything yourself, right? I mean, there have been do-it-yourself. I mean, it's fast, don't get me wrong. If I do everything vertically aligned and do everything all the way from top to bottom, I will get to market fast. But the speed of innovation for other people to come on board and utilize it will not be that slow. So that's the fundamental difference.
And Rapp disagreed.
Yeah, I think that, can I add something to that? So I don't disagree that there needs to be a platform and an ecosystem built around that as something we've purpose-built from the ground up. But as we learned over the past year building out this ecosystem, it's much more than just a platform. You can't just provide APIs. It's an end-to-end sales model and a fundamental end-to-end shift for enterprises to start adopting software in this way. They have not been adopting software in this way up until the past few years. So they fundamentally need, okay, what are the end-to-end sales models? How do you incorporate the channel in this? All of these decisions, all the back-end kind of sales lead gen opportunities, I mean, all of those things need to be built in for an ecosystem to be successful. And that's something that HP has done with our App Store. It's much more than just a portal or just an ecosystem with APIs.
Under questioning from Dubash, Rapp went on to say that HP is open and offers lots of interoperability. But Joshipura said Dell sat in the middle ground and enterprises needed to choose depending on their circumstances. But what about HP's possession of an app store, which Dell does not have?
Right, and again, my statement on that is very simple, right? As I open, I can put 100 people, 1,000 people on writing apps. I can find 50 companies to partner with me and build my own ecosystem, and I will only get so where, right? The best way to get out is allow for the openness so that people can innovate and build on it, right? A complete disaggregated model.
Yeah, I mean, I think if you look at what our customers are doing, as we talk with them about the App Store and this ecosystem, and as we talk about the ecosystem partners, to truly innovate, we need to deliver a platform for those ecosystem partners to go to market with. And it's much more than a set of APIs and disaggregation. It's something that, I mean, if you have a couple guys in the garage, like when Bill and Dave founded HP, there has to be a low barrier for that entry. So as we provide for our ecosystem, it's not just a set of APIs, it's the sales model, it's the channel, the distribution, but it's also remote labs where they can actually go in and validate on actual hardware without bearing that cost. So actually bringing that innovation to market.
After Rapp quizzed Joshipura on his definition of software-defined networking, and Joshipura came back to ask how they could team up to change today's locked-in network market, the session was thrown open to questions from the floor.